This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Welcome everyone. In this video, I show you how I built the new Z-axis for my motorized CNC microscope. In the previous video, I mentioned that there are still a few things that can be fixed on the microscope. One of these things, probably the biggest one to tackle, was the new Z-axis. Earlier, I designed a small attachment that allowed me to drive the Z-axis with a stepper motor via a timing pulley and a belt system. This worked, but the backlash was really bad and the speed was also quite slow. Finally, I came up with a better solution that uses an SFU 1204 ball screw with the corresponding support bearings and a bunch of 3D printed parts. This solution seems to be somewhat better than the belt drive system, and it allows a much faster and more precise positioning along the Z-axis. So as I mentioned in the intro, the microscope already had a motorized Z-axis. I designed a 3D printed attachment that sat on top of the microscope and allowed me to mount a NEMA 17 stepper motor on it. Then, I mounted a small pulley on the shaft of the stepper motor that then drove a belt, and then the belt drove a larger pulley wheel that was directly attached to the coarse focus adjusting knob on the microscope. So I just motorized the original focus adjusting knob. It worked fairly well, but the backlash was a bit too much, and despite my efforts, I did not manage to entirely get rid of it. This caused an issue when I moved up and down along the Z-axis, because the error due to the backlash slowly accumulated, and the distance along the Z-axis became less and less reliable and accurate. This led me to the idea to change the Z-axis to something better, more accurate. I had a few SFU 1204 ball screw kits at home, and since they are sturdy enough, I decided to make my design around such a kit. So first, I removed the upper part of the microscope from the base. This was easy. It was just a set screw that held everything together. The base might already be familiar to you if you have been following my microscope adventures, because I showed in an earlier video how I mounted the XY stage on it. I designed and 3D printed an adapter that allowed me to mount the stage on the steel base. The XY stage has 6 equally distributed holes, so I just designed a cylinder with holes on it, and then I extended it so that it fits the mounting ring on the base. It became even easier to work with it after I not so long ago upgraded the circuitry for the controls. Some time ago, I presented my new circuit board that allows me to use a CNC pendant to control the microscope. This new circuit board was manufactured by PCBWay, and in this month, due to their 12th anniversary, you also have the chance to get your PCBs in this nice purple color, or even in matte black or pink for no extra fees. So head over to their website and make sure you check out their 12th anniversary promotions in order to get colorful PCBs and enjoy great discounts. After removing the 3D printed part, I also removed the metal part that has the focus adjusting knobs. It simply slides off and reveals a nice brass dowtail. This dowtail allows the microscope to move along the Z-axis smoothly. The brass block and the dowtail are held down by 3 bolts, and to make sure that they are accurately sitting where they should, they also have what seems to be guiding or aligning pins. I just had to carefully pry the bits, and everything came off easily. The painful revelation came then. The bolts were something non-standard. It was neither an M3 nor an M4, despite the fact that it looked fairly similar and its diameter was about 3 mm. It is probably an inch thread or some M4 bolt with a weird thread pitch. I will never know because I decided to approach this problem with brute force. So first of all, the microscope is supposed to be sitting on a 3D printed attachment. The 3 screw holes were supposed to accommodate the screws that connect the 3D printed attachment to the microscope. Therefore, since the screw hole was around 2.5 mm and the drill size for an M4 tap is 3.3 mm, it seemed easy to expand the thread into a 3.3 mm hole and then cut an M4 thread into it. So I took my little kit with the corresponding drill bit and tap and slowly made the holes. The body of the microscope is probably cast iron or something similar because it was very soft. It was easy to drill it and make the threaded holes. I was afraid that I was going to make wonky threads, but they turned out to be fine. The M4 bolt went in smoothly. With this, the mounting of the microscope to a custom holder was solved. Then, in the next step, I had to figure out how to move the microscope along the vertical axis. Since I had the parts lying around, I first created a proof-of-concept mechanism to study it. The mechanism is based on a simple off-the-shelf kit that is built around the SFU 1204 ball screw. So there's the ball screw and its ball nut, plus 2 support bearings, one which is a support-only bearing and is mounted at the end of the ball screw, and one which is also a thrust bearing and is mounted at the beginning of the ball screw, where the ball screw is joined to some sort of driving mechanism. The stepper motor is connected to the ball screw with a flexible coupling. Both bearings are attached to an extrusion profile, one profile on each side. The stepper motor sits in a 3D printed flange. The ball nut received a 3D printed attachment that allows me to mount the previously shown microscope holder on it, and it also extends towards the bottom of the mechanism, where it is connected to an 8mm shaft via a bearing to provide extra support and stiffness. Plus, this ensures that the microscope does not start to swing when the ball screw drives the ball nut. After studying the mechanism, I wanted to make it stiffer, so I replaced the proof of concept 2020 profiles and used 2040 profiles instead. This should provide extra support against the bending moment created by the somewhat heavy microscope. Otherwise, everything else is the same as in the proof of concept mechanism. I slightly reworked the ball nut attachment and made it so that the front side of the ball nut sinks into the attachment. It just looks better, but functionally it is the same. The bearing is simply held in by friction. The hole for the bearing is a bit on the tight side, so one must use force to press it into the 3D printed body. The assembly process was a bit cumbersome because I had to make sure that everything sits straight and nothing gets stuck, or I don't over-tighten the bolts and crack the plastic parts. A lot of tightening and loosening was needed, but at the end I think I managed. It is a bit pity that the hole-to-hole distance on the support bearings is a bit awkward and it does not match the extrusion profile's dimensions. Otherwise, I would have mounted everything on the wide side of a single 2040 profile. Once the linear actuator was assembled, I tested it by moving it by hand. The movement felt okay and everything seemed to move fairly straight. I could not feel anything being tight or stuck or similar. The next step was to connect the Z-axis to the rest of the microscope. First of all, I did not reuse the original base of the microscope. It would have been too difficult to attach the Z-axis to it. So to keep it simple, I mounted the XY stage on a 2080 profile. Therefore, I have a 2080 profile lying on the desk and two vertical 2040 profiles holding the Z-axis. Unfortunately, the Z-axis profiles are more than 40mm apart from each other, so I could not use a standard attachment to join the vertical axis to the 2080 profile. So I just printed a joint. The joint tightly hugs both the vertical and the horizontal profiles, and there are multiple bolts and nuts holding everything together. I used a relatively large wall thickness, so the structure is hopefully stiff enough. After mounting the Z-axis, I also had to place the stage on the 2080 profile. This was done via the previously introduced 3D printed adapter. It is attached to the 2080 profile by bolts and nuts, and it is attached to the XY stage via 6 bolts. After finishing joining the adapter and the XY stage, I just placed the whole thing on the 2080 profile, but I did not fix it yet, because the microscope also has to be mounted on the Z-axis, and then the XY stage must be centered accordingly. The mounting of the microscope is done via a mounting piece that is attached to the previously prepared 3 M4 holes. The 3D printed holder tightly slides onto the microscope. I created a groove on the support, so the microscope's attachment is supported from the bottom and from the sides. To get some interesting numbers, I measured the microscope's weight. It was 2,366 grams. This is the weight that the Z-axis should be able to support and move it up and down. To test the accuracy, I first measured the accuracy of the positioning with a dummy microscope holder, but without the microscope. The microscope holder is perhaps 40 to 50 grams, so it does not influence the outcome. I just needed to attach it, so I could attach the tip of the dial gauge to the moving part. At this point, the controller was not programmed according to the ball screw, so the clicks on the CNC pendant did not directly translate into a totally proportional displacement. I was still using the parameters of the bed drive. What I did as a test was the following. I tared the dial gauge and then turned the pendant wheel 100 clicks in one direction, then 100 clicks in the other direction, while the multiplier was set to 100 times. The dial gauge I used has a 0.01mm or 10 micrometers resolution. Due to the tiny flexing of the wall setup and the two hard buttons on the dial gauge, I could not always make the 0 exactly to be 0.00mm, but I tried to be as close as possible. I tested the setup multiple times in both directions. I started to move upwards, and after 100 clicks, the dial gauge showed 6.68mm. Then I went down and up and so on a few times to see if the values creep. Then, at the 0 position, I moved down and up and so on a few times to see how the values developed. There was a visible difference, but this was only visible on the dial gauge because the values only differed by 40 to 50 micrometers approximately. This is basically the thickness of a human hair, so it is not exactly easy to see on this setup if it is off by such a small amount. However, this amount can matter under the microscope. Then, I repeated a similar procedure with the microscope sitting on the mechanism. This was a bit more difficult because it was hard to find a good place to put the measuring tip of the dial gauge. Apart from moving up and down 100 clicks, I moved up and down a few hundred clicks, plus I also changed the multiplier. The deviations were the same, in the order of magnitude of 40 to 50 micrometers. So the mechanism and the motor have no issues lifting and carrying the microscope. Sure enough, I made a mistake in the design process, and I only noticed it after I assembled everything. When I designed the setup, I forgot to consider the height of the turret of the microscope. Therefore, I could not move the microscope close enough to the subject. So I redesigned the microscope holder and printed a new one. I made it a bit taller, and I moved the mounting hose up by roughly 90 millimeters. This way, the lenses could be operated within their working distance. After resolving this hiccup, I connected the controller to my computer, reprogrammed it with the correct parameters according to the ball screw's pitch, and then tested it. I just moved the Z-axis to random positions and distances to see if it really goes there. Since the positioning only relies on the number of steps and the pitch of the ball screw, and there are no encoders because it is an open loop system, I used the dial gauge again to check if the Z-axis goes to the requested locations. In my opinion, it performed well. But wait, there's more. So after the test series, I reworked the crosshead that connects the ball nut, the shaft, and supports the microscope. I mirrored the components, so the stepper motor and the ball screw and its accessories were mounted on the other side of the profile, behind the wall structure. The 8mm shaft stayed between the profiles, and the microscope also stayed where it used to be, of course. Why did I need this? I discovered that the y-axis of the XY stage was sitting nearly at its maximum position, while it was almost hitting the stepper motor. This meant that when I brought the XY stage to its physical center, the subject at the center of the stage was not under the microscope lens, but far away from it. To bring the subject under the lens, I had to go very close to the maximum of the y-axis. So I lost quite some range along the y-axis. To improve it at least by a few centimeters, I put the stepper motor to the other side, so I could bring the XY stage closer to the extrusion profiles of the Z-axis. Another reason why I flipped the arrangement is because when I moved the microscope along the Z-axis, the image was shifting a bit. I could see that the microscope was picking up the movements of the ball screw. It was not too much, but I was hoping that if I put the load on the other side, I could make it better. The new arrangement helped to stay at the center of the image, but there was noticeably more vibrations. I assume that this is due to the fact that the 2.3 kg microscope is hanging on a longer lever arm, which is, despite the additional 8mm shaft, not stiff enough. This is of course understandable, but it's worth a try. All in all, I think I'm moving in the right direction with the Z-axis, but I will revisit the topic very soon. I want to fix this thing properly, so I can consider it done and I can move on to the next project. Especially because the previous, original Z-axis mechanism was quite smooth and vibration-free. It just suffered from backlash and the focusing was considerably slower. In the next iteration, I will use a mechanism with a stiffer base and with a stiffer linear actuator. Most probably, something with linear rails and bearings and a similar ball screw. I will also try to avoid 3D printed parts in the main load-carrying chain and, for example, use a stiff aluminum plate to attach the microscope to the new linear actuator. Please don't forget that I wrote a detailed article about this project, which can be found on my website. I shared some extra resources and pictures, so make sure that you visit my blog. Link is in the description. Also, don't forget to visit PCBWay's website to enjoy great discounts during their 12th anniversary celebration period. If you like these kind of projects and you want to support me, please consider becoming a channel member. Your support will allow me to publish more and more similar projects. I hope you liked the video, I hope you learned something, and see you in the next video.